There's a lot of controversy about the Uconn and Iowa game, specifically the moving screen call on Aaliyah Edwards. When I first saw it, I thought it was an absolutely terrible call because the ESPN replays made it look like Aaliyah Edwards didn't do anything. But the live broadcast tells a completely different story. This was the right call. She clearly does extra movement beyond the initial screen. There were some horrible missed calls earlier in the game, like when Caitlin Clark did a blatant offensive foul on KK Arnold but nothing was called, or when Paige Bueckers got tackled and it's somehow Iowa's ball. That being said, I don't think the refs took away the game from Uconn. Uconn had multiple opportunities to put the game away and they didn't take advantage. Down the wire they had opportunities and they didn't take advantage of those either. Uconn had a 12-point lead in the middle of the second quarter. Instead of capitalizing on Caitlin Clark being ice cold, they only scored 4 points in the next 5 minutes. Nika Muhl did one of the best defensive jobs I've ever seen on Caitlin Clark, but there was no way it was going to last. If Uconn took advantage offensively, it wouldn't have mattered what kind of calls went against them, because the game would have been out of reach. A big reason Uconn upset USC is because Paige Bueckers took over the game. She did not do that against Iowa, which is why they lost. Paige only attempted 3 shots in the fourth quarter against Iowa. She took 8 against USC. Iowa played great defense, but so did USC. But she was way more aggressive against USC. She was hitting some very difficult shots that she didn't even attempt versus Iowa. But it's even worse than that. There were multiple possessions where she didn't even touch the ball. That was the difference in the ball game. That bailed Iowa out way more than the refs ever could. Paige Bueckers is one of those players where even if she isn't scoring, she's helping her team out because she puts so much pressure on the defense, but that's only true if they know she's a threat to score. There was many possessions where she wasn't involved in any capacity. If Aaliyah Edwards doesn't do that move and screen, maybe Paige makes the shot, but it's far from a guarantee. Right before that, we saw her miss a wide open 3 badly, which shocked the crap out of me. I thought for sure it was going in. Paige would have had to take a heavily contested 3. That would have been a double team. It was going to be a very difficult shot for her to make. Maybe she dumps it off to Aaliyah Edwards, but what if Gabby or Stuelke deflect the pass? I hate that we will never know the answer, which is why it's so frustrating. Even after that, Uconn still had a chance to win the game. Caitlin Clark misses the free throw, but Uconn doesn't secure the rebound. It's clear they didn't plan for a miss, so they weren't prepared to capitalize. During the inbound play, Paige has her back turned to Caitlin, so she throws the ball off of her to burn the clock. I actually don't blame Paige for this. That's just a really high IQ basketball play. I don't think anyone expected it. But that's why I can't say Uconn was robbed. Iowa made the right plays when they needed to. Uconn didn't. But what do you guys think? Did the refs hand Iowa the game, or did they win fair and square? I'd love to hear your thoughts.